If you haven't seen Orphan 55, don't watch this video, there will be spoilers. So, I was definitely really looking forward to this episode. It was my most anticipated one of the season just because it's written by Ed Heim, who wrote It Takes You Away, which was easily my favorite episode of the last season, and it's good. I did really like it upon first viewing, and it does have some elements that I'm not entirely sure how it's going to really come together on my second viewing. That's going to be really important for this one. But on first viewing, there's some stuff I really liked. I like how it carries through from the last episode. We see 13 being a little bit darker, just in terms of how Gallifrey being destroyed is affecting her, and I like how that is at play here. And this episode is definitely doing a lot. It goes through a lot of motions. And upon my first viewing, that wasn't super jarring to me. It all flowed, and I'm not entirely sure how it's going to hold up on the second time around. But it does feel at a couple parts that there are some places where it goes a little bit too far. It's not awful. There's nothing really bad about this episode. But it does do a couple of things where it doesn't totally feel like it completely meshes together. There's a lot of characters in here. We're introduced to some new characters. But there's also some really creepy stuff in here. There's a great line from the character, I believe his name is Benny, and we don't see him while he's saying this line, but it's a very creepy line when he asks to be shot. It was a fantastic moment, and the creatures in here, this is definitely trying to be a scary episode largely, do work at first. I really like the imagery of their mouths and the up-close shots that we get, and not really getting a good look at what they are. They're in the shadows. That was all handled really well, but it is that thing where the further you get into the story, the less creepy they get, because the more you see them, and then you'll just see like hundreds of them, and then it's not really scary at all. But they did a pretty effective job of making them look pretty creepy early on. It's just that the further the story goes, the more they kind of lose that, which is a shame. Most of the characters are good in this. There is one actor who I'm not going to call out who didn't, I think, do a good job, and there's one character that I didn't really enjoy, and we'll get more into that kind of stuff in my full review later this week. And the Doctor's really good in this, and I think Ryan's is also good in this. Graham doesn't get as much to do, and Yaz really doesn't get as much to do, but there's still a fun presence within the episode, and I enjoy them together, and I think they did well within this story. It's just that some of those characters don't get as much to do, and it does feel a little bit as though without them in the story, it wouldn't have really been affected, more so with Yaz than with Graham. Yeah, so that's basically all I have to say for this first impressions. I'm doing this for 3 minutes now instead of 1 minute, because I think that just gets a little bit more time to fully flesh out a little bit more of a thought with these, and I'll be back with my full review later in the week for this episode, and I have some things to say, and I can't wait to rewatch this episode and get just a closer look at sort of how the story flows. I'm going to have a top 10 first Star Trek episodes later this week as soon as I can get that out, and then after that, you'll get my review, but that's all I have to say for now. So I hope to see you around for any of those or for the next episode review, but if not, just know that I appreciate your time here today. And with that said, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and have a lovely week.